Good evening. Welcome back to the Town of the Gorgon. It's day 12. It's time to make our choice. But first, people to heal. And hopefully, I have enough cures to do it. I have 6 cures. My impulse to still check every trash can. So we're gonna do a full lap of the town and make sure everybody is cured. And hopefully that will actually work. I think we'll start with Laura and work our way around that way. Big spiral, that's the plan. It's only 3:30 in the morning. Got plenty of food, so I shouldn't have any problems getting through. I do feel like I'm having a hard time broadly with Artemis ending. I am unconvinced at the game's explanation that he needs to make a sacrifice. Laura, you're good.
There are dark rings under your eyes.
Thank you. I need to live a little longer. There's one more thing that has to be done. My death will not be purposeless now. What kind of thing? I'm to perform the most precious feat of all, feat of self-sacrifice. I will do what Simon has done. Every single particle of my body and soul will become life-bearing, bursting with life and granting it to others. There will be no cannon fire. The town will continue to grow. The thread to the future will stretch from the very dawn of time. Do you really believe that it can be done? We are too few now, but if there's at least a dozen of us, it will be enough for the town to expand further and beyond. Hopefully the place where daydreams are captured and fulfilled will live to see 200 years more. And how many of those like me have survived? I don't care, I wanted to save your life, not for the sake of future sacrifices. Nothing else to grab. I just don't know, Anarthi, how something dying is necessary for Artemis to become Warden of the Kin. They just state it as fact over and over again. There must be a sacrifice. There will be a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice something. Why, though? It's the thing I keep asking. Why, though? Victim of carelessness is behind this door. Yulia is sick. I have a panacea.
If there is enough people like me, the town will stay the same. We'll surrender ourselves to Clara unregretted. A rotten life belongs to the new mistress.
I'm talking about both, Anarthi, that it feels connected to me. Artemis, by taking his place among the kin, as warden, as Menku, he now has access to the veins under the earth in which there flows hot blood that can be used to create panaceas. He can make panaceas for everyone in this city. Thousands of them. He'll never run out of blood. but Commander Block wants to shoot something today. And, like, that's the only thing stopping Artemy from doing it. If nothing got shot today, tomorrow everyone will be cured. Andre got sick on the last day. Yep, give them the Schmouter. All better now.
I've had my share of dancing. The curtain falls.
Nothing useful for me now. So yeah, that's the side of things that I'm really unconvinced about, is that my choice would be to just hold off one more day. This person is dead. This person's not dead. Anna should be dead. Anna lives. Somehow.
What do you all want from us?
Really concerned about my number of cures. Daniel had to choose because he didn't believe there was a cure for the plague. That for Daniel, the cure is to just leave. Curious. Doors are just locked to me. But I feel like Artemy, in the narrative, has a cure for things. He can actually fix this. That Daniel's whole route leads to the vaccine, but there's not enough of Simon's body to make any more of it, so he's just failed. He needs to just move on. Artemy can keep working.
My path was called the Rat Prophet. I didn't know it was him who spoke to me in my sleep. Till the very end, I thought it was the Earth.
Katarina just admitted that her psychic visions come from the Rat Prophet, not from the Earth. God, I hope I learn more about that in Clara's run. Savarov. It's a lot of sick people. I assume Clara can use that bed. I might assume
I've got a
incorrectly.
firm hand.
Got one panacea left.
We easily forget those faults, old boy, which are known only to ourselves. True, so true.
Interesting. Peter didn't have anything new to say today. Most of the bound are just have one thing to say today, and it has to do with whose bound they are. They all just end up saying the same thing. But Peter's line didn't change. It's interesting. Sticky.
My path was called the last vampire. I would have surely caught the weird albino if it not for the plague.
What will we do without your help? That means you'll be just like your father by the time we grow up. What are you planning to do with your life? I will be the axis for the wheel to spin around, a future ruler with a new sign. I trust Capella. A new sign, what do you mean? The Kanelginsky-Saburov triangle is over. There are no more termites, utopians, or humbles. The three powers are gone almost without a trace now. They're nothing but memories now. We need new forces and new signs. The old rulers are gone, except for you. Will you protect our little town until we come of age? What do you stand for? I don't know yet. We didn't have enough time to talk, but I will become a builder to direct Khan's and Notkin's ardor. That's what Capella has seen. I wonder which of the two mistresses is supposed to be paired with me, Grace or Murky. All my sides, they're both very nice, but also not much to look at. Are you sure they're alive? Dodgy there, Sticky. I'm gonna let you get away with it because I assume girls are icky to you. I am. I'm taking care of both of them. Let's go talk to Taya. I still feel weird about the fact that Anna is alive. That feels like some janky incompleteness on the game. She's definitely who I chose to sacrifice so that I could live.
Feels like I'm peeping.
I'm alive, and it's you who made it so. Thank you, thank you. Does that mean you'll be helping me from now on? Who told you that? Capella did. You'll become the foreman and the most important person in the kin now. Everyone will follow your words like they did with Dad. And I'll always be at your side, so that you know that we're all together and that the kin loves you. That's what she promised me. Why are you so happy? You were the only one they listened to before. What do you think happens now? I'll step aside a bit, but I'll help you and connect you with everybody. And I won't bother the new mistresses, even though I really want to. It's all Capella's design, even though I don't really get it. Is she who told you all this? Yes. She also said there will be 4 nodes instead of 3 from now on. The 4th one is me, standing aside a bit. Well, I mean, there always must have been 4 nodes, but no one noticed that before. I think things will be better now than they used to be. I hope so. I agree with Taya, there were always 4 nodes. Taya is not Oyun's daughter. Her father was the religious leader, but he dies like just before the game begins. That's why she's in charge. But I agree, there has always been 4 pillars. The Kanes, the Olgimskis, the Sabarovs, and the Kin. The Olgimskis thought they owned the Kin. They were wrong. There's nothing in the Bone Stake plot, right? There shouldn't be, I don't think, but we're going past it. Let's check. Nope. Where is this exit? Okay, it's through here on the map. Okay, I can never remember that. Try to be better about it in the future. I still feel just uninformed about the mistresses. Clara took Katarina's power, but I think Capella's plan is for Murky to have Clara's power. I don't know how that works, but I do think the plan is for there to be 3 mistresses when it's done.
What?
It is wild to me that Aspity is one of Clara's bound. That feels wrong somehow. Even though I know I'm about to play Clara as the hero of the next run, I still feel like I just don't trust her. What did she say to Aspity to convince Aspity to sacrifice herself? Makes no sense.
If we, the outcast children, live, the town will grow to be a town of men. Capella will entrust us with it. We are the future of this land.
Capella and I owe you so much. I'm only alive because of you, aren't I? Tell me, why does Capella need you? I will replace the second mistress. That means Capella thinks I'll manage to. She says I'm shining bright, but unlike hers, my glimmer isn't thick, but rather transparent and very pale. Will Capella be the first? Yes, I'll have to stand in contrast to her. She feels the living and I feel the dead. She knows how to take care of the living, knows what they need. I can listen to the dead and know how they turn into grass to face the sun, and why each twire blade is different. And there you go. Are these her words? You can't be making this up, can you? These are Capella's words. She explained all this to me, but I can also feel that it's true. What else did she tell you? Each of us will tug the power in our own direction. She'll tug a bit upwards, and I'll tug downwards. We'll tune life together, opposing each other, like Nina and Victoria before, but not for real. Moreover, I'll help her make the lines into a circle. At least that's my understanding. I hope you'll manage. You are probably right that Aspity knows how to die. She would be instrumental in making sure everybody else dies properly. I felt like I heard a cow. I'm gonna check in the lab. I'm not really expecting anything, but game can't surprise me if I don't try. Regular blood. Infected blood. Okay. Nothing here, but I'm glad I checked anyway. Capella does seem to be all about having compromises with power. The fact is, she is cutting a deal with Khan to marry him for peace with the Canes. She's planning to raise Grace as an opposing mistress. And that while they will pull in opposite directions, they will ultimately be working together.
Something's wrong with my head.
So we'll have to fight for power in a couple of years, you and I, right? I wonder how that'll go. You'll be old already, though. Balancing. I like that in RSD. Balancing power seems right. Are you already thinking about ousting me from power? Aren't you a quick lad? I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Khan is the one I'm really after. Oh, that's the guy I'll have to meet head on. Khan will grow to inspire true terror. Has he really abandoned the ways of his family? Who could have thought Nina's son switching faith? What does he believe in now, by the way? Let's start with you. What are you standing up for? I'm not sure yet. The balance is constantly shifting. The disposition of forces will be different. It won't be like the previous standoff between the termites and the utopians. Capella has already considered everything. It's good that she's tamed Khan. We are sick and tired of utopias. Let's build a new world, a better one. I hope you won't forget my role in establishing the new disposition. I think Notkin and Khan are both scary children. They seem to desire power for its own sake.
we, the outcast children, live, the town will grow to be a town of men. Capella will entrust us with it. She says we're the future of this land. Yeah.
Will you stay with us? Yes, I'll stay here and won't ever leave this place. A lot of things will change. I will actually stop living here. I'll have my own house. A house? The rod. I'm destined to become mistress of the earth. Katerina has failed, and I won't. That's what Capella says. Why do you think you'll succeed where Katerina has failed? Capella knows that for sure. She can see the future. In 10 years, I'll become a tall and slender beauty. I'll have white skin and dark ankle-long hair, or even longer. I'll speak with the earth, perhaps even command it. I wish you good luck, Marky. Take care of yourself. I know Georgie is sick. I need nobody to be sick between here and Georgie. I was legitimately nervous I was going to round the corner and see an executor.
A dreamless man is a soulless man. We are a humble lot. We stick to no paths. Do as you will.
Thank you, Bad Grief. I don't know if Ruben is going to be here. He is! Ruben?
I haven't slept for 3 nights straight. I don't think I'll manage another one.
Sounds like you're not planning to manage another night. After hearing from all these other children, let's see what Capella actually has to say.
Father has been avoiding me lately. Strange.
I would have not lived to see today if not for you. Now, if my design works, I will be able to revive the town. I'm grateful to you, Warden. I'll never forget it. What is your plan? The outcast children who have left the polyhedron will establish a new town. They will become new mistresses and rulers. They will lay down a new triangle of powers and beginnings. This time, it will stand firmly on its base rather than trying to balance on one of the vertices. Why did you choose the outcasts? It's not a cause, it's an effect. They have left the polyhedron because their fate lies elsewhere. Prisoners of dreams can build, but they cannot rule. Moreover, you have to be resolute, mature, and independent to break free from childhood. Only the most outstanding children can do it. I've heard you wanted to found a new religion. I don't. You still fail to grasp who mistresses are. So do the children, which is why they keep talking about a religion. Can religion be invented by a man? It's not a game. You're being insincere. I know more about pagan beliefs than you. Tell me, will you stay with us? Will you rule the kin like your father was supposed to? Yes, I'll stay with you. Big Vlad still lives.
My path was called the diaphragm. I thought I was free to decide the fate of the kin, but fortune had something else in mind.
Total death toll 7,740. 571 still infected. Day 12 in which it finally becomes apparent what it was all about. I don't need to see block, but I do need to check the theater. We'll go to Young Lads too. Is Mark sick? You aren't allowed in here, Barack. Some of our actors are still standing guard by the doors of some of our patrons, the regular audience, so to speak, so the theater is closed. I mean that until at least one mask is standing guard at the door of at least one doomed person? That's precisely what I mean. You are incredibly sagacious, Artemi Barack. I'll bring your actors back to you. Don't try to bribe them into leaving their posts. Don't stoop to begging. Guarding your dying is a pleasure to them, not a burden. They are not mine. Well, yes, they are. I'll find another way. I think it is very interesting that the game is acknowledging Clara's letter. I know you are interested in pairs, oppositions, and other meaningful similarities, so let me remind you of something. The first pair should be read as follows. If the Urderg your father spoke of is the town, then the polyhedron is your sacrifice. There is no other way, since the two are correspondent to each other. Crush the polyhedron, and rivers of blood will flow, the underground ichor emerging from within the hollow rod on which the tower stood. The second pair means, if Aglaya is your sacrifice, then Simon is your Urderg. In this case, you have no other choice but to protect the polyhedron. I'm staying in the left wing of the termitary. Come and see me if you please. My plan is the only one that is feasible. Nothing will have to die. Except young Vlad, he died days ago. You're right, Clara is very strictly lying there. Okay. We'll make sure everyone's cured and then we'll go get Clara. It's Laura's house. Okay. So Stillwater, the Crucible, I guess the polyhedron, because I haven't seen Khan anywhere. I should be getting a letter from Daniel any moment. Unless I don't get the letter from Daniel, since I talked to him, like, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I suppose. Ava, you're still good, right?
What?
Ava's still good. Okay, Daniel's here, but I'm not going to want to talk to him until after I cure Georgie. Victor, tell me you're good. You're good, right? Victor's good.
My path was called the Mistress. I should have held on to the memory of my wife for the town.
Check Maria. Will Maria even talk to me?
Did you see anything weird on your way here?
What a strange question, Maria. Did I see anything weird? Alright, Georgie is the last of the bound. I have one panacea left. We did it. I have a panacea. Let me in. I'll cure them. Not a new letter. But we did update our quest. Bound of the Bachelor are alive and well. He should have enough time to prepare his argument for the proceedings. I'll talk to Clara, and her quest will clear as well.
I need to live some more for the polyhedron to work as it used to. Not for myself, but for another soul. Maria will take care of the rest.
Awesome. Curious what happens if I try to climb the polyhedron now to talk to Khan. I kind of doubt it'll work, but I'm gonna try. I've got time. So just enough. Letter from the powers that be. Ripper. We thought we should write because you don't seem to be listening to what we tell you. You've gotten completely out of hand. As of late, you keep doing whatever you please. This is unacceptable. You are spoiling the game. If this letter reaches you in good time, do come to the polyhedron. They will let you inside. Keep your eyes tightly closed, descend to the bottom and say 345. Open your eyes. We'd like to have a little chat with you. The people who own you. Alright, guess we're going straight to that. powers that be. Is Khan in here, I wonder? Seems like no. Don't be upset. Being a toy is also nice. Why did you play it like this? We've been to a funeral. We've just come back from a cemetery, actually. So who died on you? We won't tell you. In fact, it's all just fantasies anyway. No one's died. It just doesn't work like this. There's no death. Get it? Why did you need dolls? Couldn't you have played without us? Well, we did need to find some use for you. We never liked you all that much anyway. You've always been the scary doll. Playing with you was no fun. So you stuck the throwaways into the thick of it. The ones that could fix things. You can't always have a smart doctor man at hand. That's just how the game goes. Will you help us heal the town? Get the commander out of there. That's impossible now. We can't. Mirrors make it all very complicated. You can't take your move back once you've made it. These are the rules of a real live game. I'd rather it was an Unreal Dead game. Indeed, it was a sandbox plague. The children who were playing there must have been on their way home from the funeral. A sorrowful game may have seemed an appropriate diversion to them, or maybe they simply felt their childhood was slipping away. One way or another, the hero has been bitterly deceived. This is the same as it was for Daniel. All this time, the hero took himself to be a living man who was trying to rescue his fellow human beings. Beyond doubt, this belief has filled him with fervor, helped him to reach the finale, and even be somewhat triumphant. In vain. It was all in vain. The hero was but a puppet, striving to help the imaginary population of a town that was nothing more than a drawing. Strangely, there is still not a word to be heard from the powers that be. Perhaps they became bored of it all, or were called back home for supper. Look, look! Harspex is here! He's so big! How did you find us? Oh, so lifelike, and so angry. I want you to tell me everything. No problem. What do you want to know? Show me your sandbox. Look, it's a magic sandbox. See how it reflects in the mirrors? It's because everything's for real there. Here's a town. We've made it out of sand. There's this awful thing going on there, an epidemic. So it's all crumbling. The town is falling apart. But we've sent heroes there to fix it. How did you go about sending the heroes? It's rotting, see? Ew. They hoped they'd think of something. Mirror and sand, at least. They're magical too, you know, the heroes are. Take you, for example. Look how it all worked out. You used to be a doll, and now you're alive. Perhaps the rest also work like this? What are you going to do now? Heal the town, please. Just look, it's so wonderful. It's alive, and it's our favorite one. We won't be able to make another one like this. If it can't be helped, then it'll disappear forever. You know how much we love it? Indeed, I agree with you on this. I don't think any line of his dialogue was different between the runs. letter from the makers. Please do come meet us at the theater if you have a spare minute. We'd like to have a rather inconsequential but mature talk with you. We apologize in advance for the inconvenience. The people who executed the whole thing. I agree, it's a bit of a bummer. I feel like there's a part of me that wants to be understanding because you can play Artemy first, but I feel like that's just actually a mistake. I think that is something that the developers should have corrected. You should have to play Daniel first, and that gives them a little more freedom then with what they do in Artemy's run if they can assume you've played Daniel's already. Because there's parts of Artemy's run that already feel like that. Wrong one? How do I get up? There we go. Dogheads have nothing for me. Okay. So no talking to Khan. Unless he's in the theater, I suppose. That's possible. I'll go tell Daniel he can meet me in the cathedral. Then we'll head to the theater and then head to Clara. I do recognize that if you do force people to play Daniel first, the number of people who will even see Artemy's run at all becomes almost zero. So, complicated. I am really delighted that I had just enough cures. I was really very worried about it.
Sorry, but I have to get back to work.
Ooh. For quick saving.
Cost what it may, the tower should remain intact. The tower is clean.
Are you aware that we turned out to be toys? Really? You're kidding. Though figuratively speaking, that is true after a fashion. We are all mere toys in the hands of Providence. No, Oinon, I mean literally. You are a toy. I am a toy. We are mere dolls made of rags, sawdust, whalebone, and hell knows what else. Have you gone mad? No, my eyes were opened. You have owners. They are children. The game they're playing with us is almost over. I hope my side wins. No, you lose. They don't love us, by the way. They're fed up with us. That's why we're stuck here. They've stuck us here. Very witty, Barak. Forget it. My laboratory is beckoning me from the capital. I can't for too long entertain the thought of it also being a dollhouse. I'm an adult man that has responsibility, Bear, you see? I invent medicine that helps with old age and death. Out of nuts, syrup, and sleeping pills stolen from the adults. Don't make me laugh. Enough. This isn't funny anymore. You've failed to grasp anything at all.
My head is spinning.
You're bound or alive and well. Come to the council. Fine, I will. If you tell Block yourself that you're on my side, the Inquisitor will be disarmed. See you at the cathedral, Oinon. The Bachelor will come to the cathedral. He will stand up for the Polyhedron. I will allow him to make the ultimate decision. Should I? The tower is alive, one might say. What with the soul of Simon forever sealed within it? Could it be that the Polyhedron is my Edurg? I appreciate that Artemy does acknowledge that the Polyhedron is alive. I don't have a special feelings for the Polyhedron. It's a very miraculous building, and if it was real, it would blow my mind. But incredible constructions are things that crumble and fall into disarray all the time in the real world. And it sucks when that happens. Great art gets lost, and that sucks, but it's not worth human lives. Destroying the town with the sick people in it to save the Polyhedron doesn't make any sense. But that said, because Artemy does actually have a cure, the idea of killing what is effectively a unicorn, a perfect, unique, special being that is definitely alive and innocent, it has done nothing wrong, because it has no will. That also doesn't make any sense. Artemy does not come out of this clean, I guess. Get a heart save here. Come in, good sir. They are waiting for you. Wow, you're uncannily polite. The hero is a doll, but so are the children. The real game is what's happening between you and us. I cannot leave Haruspex's body. You are imposing your limits upon me. Haruspex has lost his battle for freedom since the very day he was born. What about you? Interesting. These are very similar, too. Haruspex is my hands and nothing more. I wanted to see if I can make it. That's what we're interested in as well. Can you make it, or can you not? Can you make what, exactly? Could you not have made it? I've made it. I managed to destroy your poisonous evil that has spread thin across the world. Was the disease the true evil, though? The disease is only a method, the evil's weapon. Just like a scalpel is yours. The disease will go devouring itself. Then there will be war, famine, heresy. Was it really worth the effort? Look around. All this for a single wretched town? No, it was the town that had been built for you, not the other way around. We apologize if it's been a disappointment. So you're curious as to what fate I will choose for the town. We have to make sure that it is truly you who is making the decision. Are you absolutely positive that your choice was not predetermined by anyone or anything? I am. Good. If it really was you, the only enemy, the only evil in the story, you see, is called inevitability. I'll be the one to say the final word. You see how sad our fortune is? We put all our hopes in you. We poor actors were hoping you'd become the director of a new show. The old one has been beaten to death, but you turned out to be a doll. That was a blow for me, too. I thought I was a human being. You don't have to do any of this. Who are you talking to? Interesting. If you don't engage him as the player, the conversation just stops. If you approach the tragedian as Artemy, he just doesn't have anything to say to you. I am not a doll. Did I hear you right? Who is it speaking? It's me, the Haruspex. Yeah, he just stops. Interesting. This way, like, the conversation just ending like that, forcing you to reload and ask these questions, is to acknowledge that he is trying to talk to the player. I don't know that this entirely works, but I appreciate what it's trying to do. I apologize profusely. You are definitely not a doll, but it seems to be unhelpful for our hero now. He is humiliated, crushed, but most importantly, he is deprived of the power that we have all hoped for. By the way, are you still willing to take responsibility for him? No, I don't need a humiliated, crushed, and powerless hero. I'm fed up with it all, actually. As you wish, and with all due respect, we will treat him accordingly. If you wish to leave him, then he will not be able to accomplish anything we could worship him for. Oh, spooky. My curiosity's gotten the best of me here. I just want to see what happens. Yes, that's what I wish. Interesting. Again, they just stop. If you don't care, if you don't acknowledge them as the player, if you have given up, they just stop. He is my responsibility. I will stay with him to the very end. His words shall be my words. His deeds shall be my deeds. I apologize once again. Perhaps not all is lost yet. Let's wait for the finale and see if the day brings any surprises. We still have a chance to play in a drama with an unpredictable story. Yes, and highlight Haruspex better. It's my solo now. There's nothing to say anymore. Interesting to see how that plays out. I don't know if it's only interesting because I know how it works or not. Like, if it was my first playthrough and if I didn't get it, I don't know that that actually helps. Those conversations would just end prematurely, and I would think the game is very confusing, and I didn't get it, and I would move on. I don't know how you could possibly get to the end of day 12 with all of the cures for everyone and not understand any part of it. But if you do, they just shut down and attempt to get you to engage with it at all. And I don't know if that works, but I do appreciate that they're trying. Ultimately, I don't think either of those conversations were different either. I do know Clara's conversations with them is different, so we have that to look forward to. And it is different because you have to have played through the game as the Bachelor or the Haruspex first. They know on some level you do get it. So for Clara's run, they can be more frank about some other things. The conversation can at least be about something else. I imagine most of Clara's run is going to be very meta as well. That while I say you can't get through all 12 days here without getting some of it, with Clara, I'm willing to bet that's literally true. That the game's missions are going to require you to have learned enough about how the game works in order to accomplish them. You're going to need to complete a mission on a meta level, I think.
My hands are tired and my palms are tingling.
See how everything turns out? Who could have thought? You have to sacrifice something, either the town or the polyhedron. One of the queens wants to destroy the Wondrous Tower, while the other seeks to raise as much as possible just to make sure. Do you have a different solution? If my confidants are alive, I will come to the council with you, and there won't be a single queen there that I won't be able to convince to my cause. You are absolutely sure they are alive? Do you really want me to come to the council? Yes, I'm sure all your bound are well. Come to the cathedral. It'll give you the right to decide.
People are willing to sacrifice themselves so that the town survives. Help me get to the cathedral. I'll show you.
Are you aware that we're toys? Of course I am. Were you not? I wasn't. You're so calm about it. Little puppets we are, true, but it's not the puppet that matters, but whose hands control it. Have you seen them? I have. They probably think themselves too big. Think they're real human creatures, little baby kids, don't they? Aren't they? I wouldn't be so sure. I have a gut feeling about it. That's my knack. What can you do? The Bachelor's probably still thinking he's a bachelor, doesn't he? He would have got on very well with those kids. Tell what you know. I've already told you everything. I don't know anything, but I sense a lot. See you, Ripper. See you. The changeling will come to the cathedral. She is adamant that she can perform some kind of miracle to protect us all. I have no proof of this possibility. Her miracle is an act of blind faith, and if I know anything about miracles, it's that they are all too often rotten on the inside. Okay. We've done it. Victory lap. We'll go through our final conversations with Block and Aglaya, but I am not convinced on Artemis' story. I don't think I hold the larger opinion that the fan base seems to. That Artemis is a good ending, or more correct somehow, and the Bachelor's is evil. It's not as clear as that, and in fact, I find Artemis' run murkier by default. I'll give Artemis his ending, though. We'll watch the cinematic. I think I'm going to be too early. Thank you, RSD. I want to really appreciate both runs for what they are, and I totally acknowledge that part of it is probably just that the Bachelor's designed to have an upbringing more similar to mine and things like that, but it just... I really strongly feel that Artemis' ending feels indefensible if you know what he knows. That you just have to accept that there has to be a sacrifice in order for his ending to make any sense. And there just isn't actually a reason for that. I also think both HBomberGuy and Codex Entry favor Artemis' position, as does most of the fan base. There's a real strong attempt in Artemis' run to get you to believe the same things he and the kin do. And that's a feat. I think that's a real strong accomplishment that the game comes close to. That even I can now talk in terms of blood and bodies and sacrifices and in a way that sounds like the developers have written lines for me. There are parts of that start to make sense. That understanding why the kin sacrifice blood to the earth to feed it so that the earth will not feed itself, and that's better. Like, there's a logic there that I can follow if any part of what they say is true. I can understand why the kin believe what they believe, but I can't believe it too. Even all the weird, wild, mystical things I have seen in this game, I refuse to acknowledge that the earth requires human sacrifice. That's just not a thing I can follow. If you accept the mystical things that do happen in Artemis Run, Artemis does die and come back because of a miracle that another magical girl could do. That if you do believe that there are women here who can see the future, you talk to a man whose head is a rat's head. If you accept all of those and accept that what the kin are saying is true, then there is no other choice. There must be a sacrifice, like, definitionally. But I think it is worthwhile to question the kin's own beliefs from their point of view. Just because it is how the things have been done, that it has worked for them, doesn't mean that's the only way it should or could, or even that they were right about it, that the evidence seeming to line up is a correlation-causation problem. The game tries really hard to get you to follow along with their beliefs, and it's good at that, and I appreciate it, but I ultimately do come away with, but human sacrifice is not actually how grass grows. That's not what it does. Maybe, possibly, the Changelings Run will delve more into the magical side of it and may make it more believable for me. And it may be that after all three, the Haruspex Run looks softer and Daniel's looks harder. I could see that happening. we'll have to see what happens there. I think I'm early. You're too early. The Queens will be deciding upon the fate of the remains of this wretched town at 7 o'clock. As for now, the cathedral is closed. I want to speak to Aglaya. She is undoubtedly equally eager to see you, but you will meet her at 7 o'clock and not a minute earlier. New powers have come into play now, powers that even a government inquisitor cannot oppose. We are only doing their bidding. What powers? You'll find that out if every person whose life you've had been in your hands for the last 12 days has a chance to say a word before the council. They'll all be fine by evening. Okay. Let's go sleep till 7. Got a letter from Block. Artemi Rock, if what I'm told is right, you must be the only physician of some moral integrity in the town. You're the only one to have avoided any dealings with the wretched Inquisitor, a fact all the more confirmed by her trying to give me the opposite impression. I am somewhat confused, so I believe the best I can do is to go with your decision, whatever it is. The proceedings are to begin at 7 in the cathedral. Before 6:30, you may find me in Town Hall. Well, it's 6:30 now. I'm not going to be talking to Locke. It's 5:30. Let's go. Let's do it. I can get to the Town Hall in an hour. I don't know that this will be a particularly enlightening conversation. Commander Block does not like me, and I don't like him. As the player, I feel it is Commander Block that is stopping Artemi from saving the town. If I didn't have to be in this meeting, I could be making panaceas. I could be making the 700 panaceas necessary to save the rest of the sick. I could make 700 more in case anybody else does. But because I need to get everybody at this meeting and I need to be there myself, there's just no time. But if Commander Block could just wait 24 hours, the gun wouldn't need to fire. I hope I get a chance to tell him that.
That does it. I'm gonna break soon.
At today's end, at 2200 hours, we're taking the army southeast to the main road. At 2350, we're firing. Your choice will decide where the shells go, Surgeon. The council will be held at the cathedral at 1900 hours. What if you miss the target? Not from this distance. That's out of the question. What happens if I don't come to the cathedral? The Inquisitor and I will have a conflict. You seem to have enough artillery not to fear a single woman. Officially, I don't have the right to fire unless she or even that bachelor provide me with a detailed report on the hazard situation. So, I suspect that the young fox has concealed her major arguments, waiting to reveal them at the last minute. She will most likely do it in such a fashion that I'll have no out and won't be able to open fire. I'm not barbarous. I have no intention to kill civilians unless there are no other options. That is good to hear.
You are not the only healer here.
To the western front at last, this artillery will teach the enemy some respect. Do you support the Bachelor? Yes, he seems to have reasonable suggestions. Like what? Speak to him yourself, Surgeon. He is back at his place, I think. I wanted to talk to you. The Bachelor could speak for himself. As for me, there is nothing to speak about.
We can't let cheats play with our free will.
I wish this war was over. Well, I can't tell him to not fire. Aglaya's letter. Our fate will be decided today. There's so many things I want to tell you, but would never dare to utter. I'd rather not write you at all than influence your decision. The only thing I am fully convinced of is that your father's inheritance, denoted by the sign of the Adurg, is the town itself. The settlement made of 3 parts, earth and the knots, and the stone yard. Everything else I would expect you to know already. We won't see each other before the council. This is how it has to be. Whatever you choose, I will understand it. A. Propane Panda, thank you for all of the gifted subs. Yep, sweet ding-dings. I'm glad you could join us. We have almost come to the end. I appreciate it. I don't know what sets the sub goal. I assume that's pre-imposed by Twitch, but I appreciate it. Now this... I'm going to give Artemy his ending. I don't think I agree with it. I am curious how these final conversations will go. I really do want the secret 7th ending, where you convince them not to fire, and you make enough cures for everyone. You were right, I did not perfectly agree with the Bachelor's ending either. Although the way it's presented there, I find more defensible than the way it is presented here. Maybe the Changeling will be better. I think the Changeling is going to be very interesting. I don't know. I sincerely don't know how I'm going to feel about it. More than the Changeling's ending, I am very curious about the Changeling's middle. I want to know the lore of the mistresses. Yeah, I imagine that Clara's playthrough is slowly convincing other people that their life is meaningless, but their death, that could be worth something. And that sounds horrible. I can't wait. Come, Haruspex, the Assembly is awaiting your decision. The queens of this chessboard are in a deadlock. They have each other pinned down. The game may very well end in a tragic stalemate. You are a pawn that's become a queen. Finish the endgame. Let me through. Okay, I wondered about that. Maria was here for Danielle's run. It's Capella this time.
Truth does not do as much good in the world as the appearance of truth does evil.
That's a good quote. That's a very good quote. I see the Inquisitor lady has charmed you into submission. You shouldn't trust her. She'll take advantage of us all, including you. What did she ever do to you? She lied to me. Fooled by her, I was acting on her prompts the past few days, and I even encouraged others to do the same. My discovery has been reinterpreted and presented in a fashion that has turned truth into lies. I've been violated. So what? Think you're in a better position? She's simply chosen a different tactic for each of us. She's abused my hate and anger. She's abused your love and sense of commitment. I wonder what she did to get to Clara, if she found the changeling worthy of her schemes at all. Danielle also wants to know what happens in Clara's run. If you are still fooled by her, how come you speak so confidently? What if it's also part of her plan? It was lucky enough to reveal her plots. I think that's because because you're smarter than me, Oinon. Is that what you wanted to say? Let's put it this way. Because I'm more predisposed to logical thinking. Okay, I get it.
What?
How do you suggest we destroy her? Destroy the town. That will be her death sentence. She is responsible for it before the powers that be. I understand.
Neither the town nor the tower have to be sacrificed. Everything can be saved.
Well, are you planning to make up your mind anytime soon? What happens to Aglaia? Aglaia will die. Can you make it so that she lives? No, I have no power over that. This is a mandatory part of my plan. Who else will die? Look, there's no need for prying. You'll make it, don't worry. You impudent girl, you are naive to speak as if you've won already. You're not very convincing, Clara.
What?
I'd like to know how you're going to keep the town intact. Barak, what are you saying? I told you it's my secret. I will only reveal that to the queens. General Alexander will never compromise. You know that full well. If I can't persuade Aglaia that mine is the way to purge this world of plague, then nothing happens at all. What is to happen will happen. Seems like you have a strong influence on Block. Even if I mesmerize him, he won't forget his procedure. Don't worry, I'll tell the queens everything. Separately, of course. But not to you. I don't want to see my secret become gossip all too quickly. Aren't you afraid of telling the queens? My choice demands they destroy one another, Barak. It's all taken care of. Don't you worry. Now that's some news. My choice is full of surprises, Barak. Or did you really think this little dilemma of yours was unavoidable? An either-or thing? Look at you talking. It's like you're a different person. Perhaps it's not the same me you knew before. There's more than one me. A lot, perhaps. You've got the same pretty face. But who knows whose will is behind it right now. Enough.
I'm dead tired.
You're the one to make the choice. Yours shall be the mouth to utter my words now. My lips are sealed. That means what? We're all toys. Yes, exactly. Not a pleasant surprise? I thought I was a person. I didn't know myself at first either. My only advantage was that their mother took me to bed with her when she was young. I know many things they don't. Interesting. The Inquisitor knows we're dolls, which there definitely was some evidence for in Daniel's run. The canon explanation is that she is the doll of the parents to the children. That's why she knows. But what does it matter? So you are older than me. Never thought about it. It's not like we have age. New ones are better than old. That much I know for certain. But they restuffed me not long ago and made me a new dress, see? That probably makes you a bit older than me. What did we ever do to them? Me? They hate me. And I loved them so dearly all my life. When they were still little babies, I dreamt of how they will grow up one day and finally start playing with me. Instead, they loathed me from the very start. It's because their mother wanted them to like me. And the plague, is it a game they play? No. The town is a toy, but the plague is real. Go outside, walk the streets, you'll see. Their make-believe has nothing to do with it. They are scared to death themselves. They just came home from a funeral. I don't even know who died yet. Maybe it's the real cause of all this. I refuse to believe that.
It will be as you choose.
You're a product of imagination, a made-up illusory creature. You don't exist. You have a fate, but not a future. Who said that? I can't hear the voice, but I don't believe it's the voice of my beloved. It's me, the player. Want to chat? No, I don't. I want to be with Barack. Go away. Did you fall in love with him because he was free? That wasn't him. It was me. When I leave, he'll turn into a stuffed dummy. Same as everyone else around you. Really? Yes. Get out of here. Scram. I won't talk to you anymore. I need my Haro specs. Hey, gorgeous? Hey? Interesting that in talking to the player, she confirms that she got feelings for Artemy.
Have you met a courier on the way?
I'll follow my heart. Actually, one question.
Have you met a courier on the way?
Were you really lying to me? I never told you the whole truth. Is that a lie? Yes. I kept from you my desire to crush the evil tower, but you could say I had no obligation to reveal that. You didn't tell me you were the sacrifice the kin expected. See? You found out everything all by yourself. I never resisted you. Trust me, all I had to do to keep you in the dark was endeavor to do so. Imagine, you make your sacrifice, and at first you don't even notice that the butchers never accepted your offering to the earth. And then, one day, you do. But I'm far away by then. I believe you. So she figures out that because she's an Inquisitor, she is a worthy sacrifice for the town. The kin have figured that out. She figures that out about the kin. But she wants the polyhedron destroyed. So she thinks that she can save herself and get me in power and destroy the polyhedron all at once by convincing me that destroying it's the right thing to do. And the weirdest thing about that is she didn't have to. That's what Artemy wants anyway.
My path was my namesake, was called Capella. Were it not for the plague, I would have spread a heathen cult among the children. Then parents would have lived forever.
So the people I have told you about are alive after all, are they not? Why do you think my victory is impossible without them? You wanted to protect the town, didn't you? But the Adurg is a living being. It's a body that contains the world. Do you really think that the world can exist without activity inside? Who is going to govern it? Who will paint it different colors, tints, and shades? I will distribute these roles among the children when they come of age. How will they paint it? Anew, Warden. The triangle this town was standing on is going. There will be no more utopian scarlet, termite navy, humble taupe. There will be gold, amber, lilac, malachite, black, and dawnish beige. I hope you explain the meaning of these colors to me one day. Yours will be charcoal. Don't be distressed. It has its own beauty, but its role is different. Along with my white, it will be used when mixing colors to receive various tints. And the others? What colors will you assign to them? The Mother Superior will start managing the kin right away. You don't really understand their day-to-day life, do you? You can rule and guide knowledge. If will be the power of malachite and black. Go on. Notkin will be a scout, exploring the steppe for now. He will also keep an eye on the warehouses and the station. We will have to start communicating with the big world soon. Red gold will be his color. Who else? Murky will look after street improvements. The town must look pretty. I will also assign her to be in charge of the water supply and the sewage. She will become the Lilac Mistress. Very nice. Sticky will be in charge of commerce. He'll be the chief merchant, controlling all shops in the town, making sure everyone has everything they need. He will become a ruler later, just like all the other boys you have saved. His power will be of amber color. Right. Grace will keep doing her job. She'll bury the dead. They have a whole realm of their own, you know, and they need a caring hand, too. She will be a beige mistress. The most valuable aspect of this color is the subtle shade of dawn, a little nuance of pink and lemon. And who will be the head of all of this? We will enter into a marriage with Khan. This will put an end to the enmity and disagreements of our own families. We will restore the harmony of ruling. I will become a mistress and will do what my mother used to. Khan, with his army of dogheads, will rule the town. I'll make him white, as I am. So that's what the town is going to be like now. Well, before I commit, let's check upstairs. There shouldn't be anything up here, but let's check. Just a scary face. Agreed, an RST. Agreed.
Luck and temper rule the world.
So Barak the healer. Your father used to be the leader of the local caste community, which is important to me. It was neither greed, nor plotting, nor circumstance that has informed your choice, but your conscience alone. I've been given orders to level everything here, but if that is not necessary, I am willing to trust your judgment, risking my life and honor, for I am merciful. Where shall I point the weapon? This is the bad ending. This is choosing the bad ending down here. You only have to destroy the polyhedron to put an end to the disease spreading. There is no point in raising the whole town. There's a certain deposit beneath the town that would allow you to make enough panacea. Rumor has it it's blood? Indeed. How do you prove that this choice is sensible? Here are my arguments. Panacea, the evidence of an underground blood deposit that feeds the town. My rightful and supported claim to take this blood. I've seen a report claiming that the kin will not let you have this blood unless you kill the Inquisitor. Is that true? The don't destroy anything option is taking Clara's ending. I don't want to take that till I've played Clara's playthrough. We'll see if I agree with it then. It is true. The kin will not let me have the blood unless I kill the Inquisitor. How are you going to kill her? I'm not. We will destroy the tower. The blood will pour out from the tear in the ground. That will be enough. True, that's what I've been told. Victoria Olgomskaya, styled the White Mistress despite her young age, confirms that you are capable of accomplishing this goal. The people you have saved support your claim. Act, then. The cannons will rumble at 10 to 12. Evacuate the children from there by 10. It will be taken care of. Aglaya will give orders. This is my choice. I made my choice. I've decided what the offering will be. Aglaya will live. The powers that be have nothing to hold against her now that the cure for the Sand Plague has been found. It's of no importance to me what the kin will think of my choice. If my refusal to offer a human being as a sacrifice means that they won't let me anywhere near the veins of the Adurg, I will find a different source of blood with which to make the panacea. The polyhedron will be brought down and rivers of blood will spout from the gaping hole that is left by its foundation. The prophecy was fulfilled. The lines have led me to the place where my path as a warden will commence. My father would be proud of me, I think. Any choice is right, as long as it's willed. This is how it is. I'm going to try talking to everybody after making that choice, just to see what happens. But I liked the idea of very dramatically just leaving the cathedral.
We need to go back to the front.
Father has been avoiding me lately. Strange.
It's impossible to change the choice you've made now, is it not? Yes, it isn't.
Neither the town nor the tower have to be sacrificed. Everything can be saved.
I'm looking forward to midnight. Me too.
The wretched wound has opened.
Do you have any regrets about what you have done? Regret is the most honest of feelings. Who said that?
It will be as you choose.
No question escapes my lips. I'm not asking anything of you. We'll leave this place, you and me, together. I feel like there was supposed to be more to the romance between Aglaya and Artemy, but I feel like in this playthrough I only talked to her like twice, maybe? I don't think I need to climb the polyhedron to clear it out. I believe Aglaya's going to take care of it, and I just need to sleep till midnight, but I'm going to walk up here just in case. What are the odds that I can talk to anyone else about anything that's happened at this point? I find it very unlikely. Ooh, I can go in, though. That's interesting. Just to the first layer, though. Interesting. One last long walk down. Can I be inside the polyhedron when it's destroyed? At midnight, the ending cinematic plays regardless of where I am. I don't think it would change anything if I were in the polyhedron. Artemy lives. I sincerely didn't expect that door to open at all.
I have a heartache.
Okay, they don't have anything to say anymore. They don't even have their line for their ending, which makes sense. Let's go to sleep. I'm just going to the still water. Say goodnight to Ava. She deserves it. Hey, Ava. You were nicer than anyone in this town to one of the worst people in this town. Thank you for that.
Don't you think my colors have faded?
did it, it was a free choice. We acknowledge the victory of the player.
It is indeed miraculous. The exit is clear. It shouldn't have happened. The miracle must be real.
Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Why 12 dolls? They do look real cute cuddling together, don't they? Why are two missing their heads? You know what? That's a good point. That's a very good question. I don't know. So that's Victoria. And that's Nina. Interesting, I can't open the quest log or the player tab anymore. Sort of. I definitely had to give a cure to Anna. Okay. We exit out the door we always do. Good game. I still feel just as conflicted about Artemis' ending as I did in my discussion. I would also suggest the ending cinematic is lacking the one thing I would want to see, and that is the cannon firing and hitting the polyhedron. You see a cannon fire in Daniel's ending. I also think it's interesting that Daniel's ending has, I think, all of his bound in the last shot standing together. For here, we just had Taya, Capella, and Notkin. And a couple of random children. Glad to have finished it. Head of the laboratory. Yes, I don't know what that means. I believe that developer who's listed as head of the laboratory, Dafkin, I think, whatever it was. I think it's his face for Artemis' face model. Yes, 2/3. one more playthrough. We'll see Clara's ending, and then I'm probably going to do some achievement hunting off stream to get all of them. I am thoroughly enjoying my experience with this. It is definitely one of the strangest games I have ever played, but I am glad that I am playing it. Its brainworms have so very thoroughly infected me. I think about it and talk about it all the time now. Every game is pathologic if you squint real hard. Alright, well with that, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next week. We will start the Changelings run. Good night.